Welcome everyone. Welcome back to the podcast Crypto Podcast with me, Coach 23, and this is Bad Take, episode 2. So season 2, episode 2. So I know I've been out of the grid. I was on technically not a working vacation, but still I was working and daddy tatay duties for the past week. School season start here in the Philippines 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. So I was the one taking care of my kids, bringing them back and forth from school. Since three of my kids are already studying, I still have, Shadwick, my baby, to take care of here in our home in Laguna. But yeah, I'm back. I know it's kind of dark. I'm in my own special place right now. We move our beds here. So this is basically my workstation when I'm working at my freelance job and when I'm doing this little podcast. So, welcome everyone. Like I said, we're back with Bad Take with Coach 23, where according to some people, that I have some bad takes regarding my opinion about pro wrestling business or industry, and that's fine. Every opinion both matters and doesn't matter at all. It's about perspective, and my perception is different than everyone. I totally respect, or maybe not even respect, other people's opinion because that's me. And I know some people are like that. So, like I said, we're back and we're trying to diverse more on, just saying results, prediction, in a way. I know that next week will be a total jam-packed weekend in the pro wrestling business. You have All in Texas with AEW. You have, I believe, you have Great American Bash for NXT, Saturday night's main event for WWE, and Evolution 2. So it's a jam-packed weekend. And as wrestling fans, people say it's so tiring, whatnot. It's about, like I said, perspective. It's how you open your mind in terms of this type of, business. But yeah, it's me. Like if you're hearing a little bit of background of Miss Rachel, it's my son watching Miss Rachel. Yeah, trying to speak. So yeah, we have four topics to discuss today in this episode. So yeah, heel turns. First one. So for heel turns, I read some uh, opinion earlier from again one of my favorite dudes. I don't know him personally. I believe he doesn't know me either. But he's a toy seller in Green Hills here in Manila. Sells toys, especially wrestling toys. He calls himself Wrestling Boy. About heel turns, how we love heel turns. In a way, I respect his opinion. I kinda agree and kinda like disagree in a way. I mean, like his opinion matters to me as well. Being a wrestling fan, I believe if I'm not older than him or in the same age, um, obviously, he's a successful businessman here in the Philippines with selling wrestling toys with his content about wrestling and whatnot. Um, heel turns are good. The thing is with heel turns, it's really, I guess my favorite word that we're going to use today is divisive, whatnot. We like our heroes because in a weird way, the wrestling fandom is weird, especially during I believe it's even the mid 90s, the late 90s, when the NWO finally emerged. Hulk Hogan turning heel in 1996, that infamous Bash at the Beach heel turn, forming the NWO or New World Order. Then you have anti-heroes in WWE like Stone Cold Steve Austin, then the rise of Triple H and Shawn Michaels as DX, The Rock, that they made certain heels cool that we cheer the bad guys now. During that time, like I said, period is different. Wrestling period, even life in general period is weird in some way. But because there are times that we cheer the bad guys more than the good guys. Good guys were like, "Oh, you're terrible. You're too good. You good." It's weird. Fictional stories like comic books, movies, TV shows, even pro wrestling in a scripted environment. It's weird that we do that. We can do that. In real life, it's it doesn't I'm not saying it matters. It's weird. It's a weird scenario. But the thing is, us fans, we're like, when we stop cheering the good guys, we tend to turn them heels. The fans are turning them heels in some ways. It started with, like I said, Hulk Hogan, one of the uber baby faces during the rock and wrestling era in WWE, what people are called the golden age or silver age of pro wrestling at the time. He was cheered heavily until, you know, when he's starting to age, he's starting to grow old, he's starting to divert more from pro wrestling to Hollywood. People are like booing him. The steroid scandal is part of that hatred. Then he left WWE when WWE, is in turn of, being starting to get younger with the new generation era at the time with Brett, Shawn, Undertaker, Diesel, Scott Hall, the Razor Ramon, 1, 2, 3 Kid, all those younger guys. At the time, they were young, and Hulk Hogan left WWE, World Wrestling Federation back then, went to WCW. WCW, he was welcome. He was the highest paid wrestler there, and rightfully so for what he did to the pro wrestling business at the time. And then fans are, since he's not really a WCW guy, fans are starting to turn on Hulk Hogan at the time. And Eric Bischoff, back then, who's WCW producer, executive producer, or president, said that, you know what, let's form a group. They signed Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, and to form probably the NWO. And at the time, according to news, Sting was the supposedly third member since Eric Bishop, according to his book, uh, approached Hulk Hogan, be the third guy, and Hulk Hogan said no because I believe the terms or the phrase that they said or Hulk Hogan said was, "Until you walk in my red and yellow boots, you don't know how a good guy am I." I guess that's in the pro wrestling parlance. Okay, I know Hulk Hogan is in a controversial, you know, mood right now for the past, but I don't care about that. I care about the wrestling personality or wrestling character himself. I don't care about the wrestlers' personal lives. Really, I don't. Maybe for except one, but other than that, I don't really care. I care about their personas, the way they entertain. That's it. I don't need to hate anyone because of what their personal perception is or are. So then Hulk Hogan said, you know what? Diesel, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, they're cool. Let me turn heel, and then that's it. Hulk Hogan became. And the thing with the heel turns, it's good in a way that when you got cheered, and this is my perception, being a wrestling fan for almost 4 decades now, almost 4 decades. In 2 years, I've been a wrestling fan for 2 decades. That's how old I am. So, 40 something guys. So, the thing with good guys turning bad, in a weird way, it's a good thing. Because, hey, I'm a bad guy. I know how to rile up people. I know how to people hate me. Because even in movies, TV show, pro wrestling, it's easy to get hated than to be loved. And that's the truth. That's perception. Hulk Hogan turns heel. He became the hottest heel. Hottest bad guy, antagonist, whatever you call. Antagonist is different from bad guy. Antagonist sometimes is a good guy who antagonizes people. That's the word. So he knows how to rile up people. He knows how to people boo him. Same with Vince McMahon, the character of Mr. McMahon. He knows how a good guy works because he likes the good guys, according to him. He knows how to promote good guys. So you have Stone Cold, Steve Austin, you have Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Undertaker. He knows how to promote them as good guys. Why? Because he knows how to be bad. And that's actually part of the Austin McMahon storyline during the Attitude Era when they were like Vince Russo was still writing for WWE. If Russo was on, I believe if Russo was still just doesn't have an editor like Vince McMahon, the Austin McMahon feud would last only for like 3 or 4 months. But they stretch it out for like a 2 year program. And he said that, you know what? I know how to make you good because I know how to be bad. So it's like that term. John Cena is one of those people that people wanted to turn heel when he became popular during 2005. He became popular 2003, 2004 during the Doctor of Thugonomics, the rapping gimmick, because Eminem was big at the time. And yeah, it got popular then until, John Cena found out that, hey, kids are loving me. So let's diverse from the attitude, brutal, foul language, and make it PG. And it's a good business in a sense for WWE because business sense, here's the thing. People were saying, but they should be targeting like the demographics of 18 to 46 or 49 years old. Yeah, I guess they make money with that in terms of demographics and in terms of sponsorship like beers and whatnot. But for John Cena at the time, it's more of like if I have a dad and have 2 or 3 kids, long story short, that dad will buy a ticket for him and tickets for those 3 children. And what else? Merchandise. That's how become John Cena became big. During Vince McMahon's tenure as the chairman, CEO of WWE, he wasn't willing to turn John Cena heel or a bad guy, and because of the business. And according even to John Cena, you can research it on Google for some of his past interviews. He claimed that at one point he's a $100 million man for WWE, meaning he's amassing $100 million just for the business for WWE, merchandise, pay-per-views, tickets, sponsorships, and whatnot. And until now, it's been recorded, it's reported as well that John Cena is the highest person for Make-A-Wish kids. I get almost 1,000, more than 1,000 wishes, even now when he's a controversial bad guy during his last year run, which we'll talk about later. So they turned him heel just this earlier this year. And that's like a 20-year run of as a good guy, as a baby face. And now people are starting to turn on one Cody Rhodes. Will they turn him heel? Because right now, for the past 2 years or 3 years that Cody Rhodes has been with WWE, he is their top merchandise sales. He's the top good guy. But do we really want Cody to turn heel? For some fans, they said, yeah, just to refresh his character. And I love Cody as a heel when he was in the Independents. He's really brutal, both in TNA or Impact at the time or Global Force Wrestling and Ring of Honor. He is that brutal. Even in New Japan, he is that great bad guy. I don't mind turning Cody Rhodes heel. And in a way, I like I said, it's kind of agree that we love heels, but we need to love babyface or good guys more as well. Because at the end of the day, during WrestleMania period, it's 95, 99% that a good guy should win to end a certain storyline. So that's my point about heel turns. So the next one is the honeymoon period over. And what honeymoon period I'm talking about? Triple H, Paul Levesque as head of creative of WWE. There are reported news within dirt sheets and even fans, or they're making rumors up that the honeymoon period, Triple H being or Paul Levesque is like peak for his creative juices last year after WrestleMania 40, after Cody Rhodes won the world title and whatnot. I don't know if it's a honeymoon period. There are certain early they've like said diverse reports that people, especially from the TKO side, are, blocking some of Triple H's or Polivek's creative things. Another particular part is Dwayne Johnson's involvement, non-involvement within the WWE creative. And like I said, storyline kind of sucks right now. One thing is that they promote Jey Uso as a main eventer, winning the Royal Rumble earlier this year. People hated that. Although the last quarter of last year, people loved Jey Uso when he won the Intercontinental Championship from Braun Breaker, I believe. I'm like, what? Here's the thing, and then we'll talk about later in the last topic of this show, bad take. I'm like, okay, you guys, the fans, especially the live audience, you are the guy, even the internet wrestling community. They said that Jey Uso is a main event guy. Then when he won the Royal Rumble, like, boo, we don't want Jey Uso. What are you guys thinking? It's like you want someone, then you don't want him. Make up your mind, people. I like Jey Uso, and people say, he's not really a technical guy. Shouldn't be winning world championship. Shawn Michaels isn't really a great technical wrestler compared to like a Bret Hart or Kurt Angle or even Eddie Guerrero, but he brings butts and produce great matches. Oh, Jey Uso is only a super kick guy. Stole the spear from Roman. So go to AEW. They execute like 100 super kicks in a match that it even lost its luster as a finisher. The only guy who I knew or I know kind of right now who used super kick as a finisher was Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth of TNA. Or it's like what? I don't think the honeymoon period is over, but I think it's still diversive. I'm not saying that Triple H this year has produced great storylines or compelling storylines because if you ask me, the only compelling storyline that he has produced this year was Seth and CM Punk and John Cena turning heel, which will go later in a while. Compared to last year, that everything was like running behind Cena, and not even saying that despite the bad storylines right now, because most fans are comparing storylines right now. Oh, right, last year, this time last year, here's the storyline. It was great, and now it's not. Stop comparing it something from last year. I don't compare one storyline or even storyline from this year to last year, 2025, 2024, because I don't think 2024 it's hard to top because it's like great. And during that last year, the past year, I compare storylines for right now for like 15 years, 20 years ago, or even the new gen. If people say WWE is bad right now, go back to the new generation era where and when WWE was not, showing their programs in 10,000 seats arena, that they're just not really bingo hall but auditoriums, small auditoriums, or like is it smaller than a bingo hall? Probably that they're just putting like 3,000 people in, even the Manhattan Center, it's like 1,000 seater. That's when they're on down. Now their business is still good. It's still good, and they're still selling out arenas, 10,000 seating arenas. Sometimes they sell it out for like, yeah, if they distributed like 16,000, 15,000 only showed up and bought tickets, and still a sellout. So I don't think the period is over. I think it's in a weird way, you know, in a honeymoon, couple of fights as well. But I don't think that Triple H is the guy who is putting people out of, the WWE fandom. I mean, it's hard to write, definitely. That's why I suggest you guys watch the interview of Nick Khan, President Nick Khan, WWE President Nick Khan, with Stephanie McMahon's podcast, What's Your Story, and how he answered the question of, I like my work with Triple H or Paul Levesque because we make mistakes. If I make mistakes, he will point it out. If he makes mistake, I will point it out. Compared to, it's like If you combine them both, you have Vince McMahon as a promoter. Because Nick Khan might be, a great promoter or great salesman, but Triple H is the brains behind creative, and they have writers. And also, I can't wait for later this month on Netflix WWE Unreal. It's also I guess part of the honeymoon period. Why Triple H is producing this documentary about the creative writing of WWE should be taboo. It should be it's the part of the curtain shouldn't be pulled out. And people like most fans like behind the scenes bloopers, gag reels of movies. Creative, even if you go on YouTube and you just like table read from for some movies, it's the same basically thing. Basically the same thing. And even podcasters or even former wrestlers, they're like, why are you producing a documentary about creative? It should be taboo. It should be like, the thing that you don't want to be shown. And they talk about their past experiences as pro wrestlers or whatnot. Or oh, back in my day, here's where I talk about this guy and this guy. You're you're the people who's opened up the curtain. Even guys like Vince Russo and Jonathan Coachman. You pull the curtain and you hate WWE Unreal. It's weird. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, then let's go to the next topic, Cena's final run. How do I like Cena's final run? Um, if I'm going to grade it like 1 to 10, give it a solid 8 or 8.5. It's like a stop and start. And if you look closely, John Cena has main evented most pay-per-views this year. Royal Rumble is part of the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash, what else? A lot. Night of Champions. He main evented almost every pay-per-view, and rightfully so. When he said that this is his final year last year, I was expecting like Kobe Bryant farewell tour. Kobe Bryant was cheered heavily for almost of the 29 other teams arena when he was retiring, and I like the 180 turn of they made him heel this year. And I think even right now, John Cena is having fun. And if wrestling wise, I don't think he's still in. It's not his best. I've been a John Cena fan for 25 years or so. I know how crisp John Cena executes his punches, his kicks, and right now it's like those are working wrestling kicks, and it's not really the same John Cena. And it's understandable. The guy is almost 50. And so far, his best match this year was against CM Punk at Night of Champions. And it's a good thing. Even the promotion, the promo of John Cena and CM Punk was even better than his feud with Cody or Randy Orton or even R-Truth. With John Cena executing the reverse pipe bomb on CM Punk, it was one of the best things I've ever seen. It's not as great as CM Punk's pipe bomb 11 years or few years ago. My son is already sleeping. Great. So I'm talking by myself. So it's still we're halfway done of seeing John Cena as a full-time wrestler. Yeah, it's not really full-time. He's only had 36 dates. Shut up. Enjoy why he last. Come December, he's gone as a full-time wrestler. I don't even think that he will even lace his shoes or boots anymore, even for like a one-off match. I think when he says he's done, he's done. And why people maybe some wrestling purists, why he's so white? I believe it's part of his health because he even told in like an interview earlier this year that he almost had a skin cancer a scare last year or a few years ago. That's why he cannot, tan himself. That's why he's so white in a way, but it's okay. I'm loving John Cena's heel turn, whether it's a good heel turn or not. I believe he's still having fun as a performer, and good for him. And I guess we'll talk about Cena's retrospective later this year when it's all said and done. But I can't wait to his match. I hope his match with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam next month will be better than they had last at WrestleMania. But everything, the presentation of John Cena, it's all it's all good for me. It might not be a 10 full 10 mark, but 8 is a good number, a good grading in terms of his heel turn. I mean, when he comes out and it's just black and white John Cena, and I believe people from last year during the Chris Van Vliet interview and said that when and they he heard the rumors of him being a heel after WrestleMania 28, he had everything, new music, singlets, robes, wrestling boots. But they pulled the turn, the heel turn, and said, no, be a good guy because you're a good guy. And that's what they did. And what they did, because people, when he turned heel, are they going to make, is he going to make his promise of, those wrestling boots, those singlet, the new music, and they didn't give it to the fans. Why? Because that's what a heel does. He doesn't give you what you want or what you need. That's a heel. Oh, you want me to change something? Nah, I'm not gonna change anything for you because that's a heel do. So enjoy it while it lasts, folks. And okay, so last topic for the day, divisive fandom, wrestling. Uh, always believe that comic book fandom, whether movies, TV, and whatnot, it's divisive. Star Wars, and even especially pro wrestling. It's like they hate what they hate. They hate why they like what they hate, and they hate what they like. It's weird, guys. Being a fan, you uh, I guess my opinion or advice is follow my suit. Follow what my perception about pro wrestling, or even like I said earlier, one thing that I said, that there's only one wrestler that I'm like focus on his personal life because I hate how it ended, was, you know I mean, I'm not gonna say his name, but one person, one wrestler who took the life of his wife and his son. And you know who I'm talking about. I hate that person. I was talking to my wife yesterday about that person, that wrestler. And I said, "Why do you hate him?" And I even told him people could attribute the CTE of that wrestler, that his brain looks like an 85-year-old man compared to a 30-year-old guy the day of his passing. It messed up his brain. I hate that guy for what he did. Do I think he's a good wrestler, great wrestler? Sure. But there are times that I'm trying to watch a match of his, even right now, at this stage of my life, because I've been a fan of him during the 90s, 2000s. I can't even bear to watch. It bears in my mind. It bores. It's like imbued in my mind of what he did in his final days. Now, that's the only person. That's for me. But for you guys, here's the thing. People say, oh, we hate CM Punk. He's an hypocrite because he said that, the Saudi money, he said he will never work for WWE. I'll give you three names: Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Adam Copeland. Those are hypocrites as well. If you tell CM Punk is a hypocrite, is CM Punk a hypocrite? Sure, probably. Yeah. He said he will never work for WWE. Came back. Said he will never work for Saudi, or he doesn't even said that he will never work for Saudi. He just made that tweet 10 years ago about Saudi, and he worked at Saudi. Even CM Punk admitted himself, the only thing that he hated during the time when he was in the WWE 14 years ago was the one running WWE at the time. That, kind of transition to Triple H. You don't like me because. But right now, Triple H and him are in good terms. Even Triple H said, why do you want to do, there was like an interview from Triple H said that, why do you want, why don't you want to do this, storyline? And CM Punk said, no, no, no. And then Triple H said, just tell me that, talk to me. We'll work things out. And they did. And those two guys hated each other 13, 14 years ago. And you even, I forgot what match. I guess it's Bad Blood when Triple H and him hug. That like they are brothers. Like they're really close. I believe they're close right now in terms of their professionalism or even personally because I believe Triple H, Paul Levesque, or no, CM Punk whispered, "I appreciate you," and Triple H said, "I appreciate you too." That's how their bond right is right now. And people are said they hate CM Punk because he's a hypocrite. And there's one guy that I had an interaction in Facebook said he's a hypocrite, he's this, and that, and this, that. And I hate him personally. Why? Do you know the guy personally? Do you hang around with the guy? Do you know him personally to call him a friend just for you to hate him personally? And he said that, I hate him personally. Do you know the guy personally? I believe if you see the guy, you will be the first one to ask for an autograph or a picture. You are the hypocrite if you do that. For me, if I say I hate someone, I really hate someone. Although right now, the stage of my life, it's difficult to say I hate a person. Because why? Life is too short to hate a person. Life is too short to be negative. Sure, even for me, I'm the most optimistic person I know, but there are times that I can be negative as well. But the thing is, whenever time that I feel negative, I try to shake it off. I try to be as positive or optimistic as I can. Because like I said, life is too short. Don't hate a wrestler because of his opinion. It's his opinion. If he doesn't want to work in a Middle Eastern country, then he work. Why do you hate him? Because he is a hypocrite? Why you will not support him? You will not watch the show? Of course you do. The mere fact that you're mentioning his name, despite him, it's still a publicity to him. And I even like I people said the retreat writer said, "Oh, it's a plant." That CM Punk said he is sorry. He apologizes for the. If it's a plant, sure. If it's not, why do you care? They say that WWE forced him to wear Saudi. John Cena forced him to wear Saudi. So, but he still went there to work. He earned, I believe, millions of dollars just by wrestling John Cena. Oh, it's blood money. Trust me, every part of this world except Antarctica, the money as blood or dirty as it can be. There's no clean money at all. Even when it's printed on your central bank or something, it's still as dirty as F. F. So don't hurt a wrestler because of his personal beliefs or opinion. Hate the character, the wrestling character, but don't hate the person. You don't even know the guy unless you know the guy at all. Yeah, stop being divisive. Especially stop spewing negative thoughts to other people as well. Just for you to embrace, let's be negative. Go F yourself. Life is too short to hate something, especially pro wrestling. As as much as I like pro wrestling, being a fan for almost 4 decades, it's just freaking wrestling. I watch the shows. I watch the matches. I hate the characters. I like the characters, love the characters. But if a person says, "Hey, do this," and no. When I said Bret Hart said after the screw job, I will never work for WWE or Vince McMahon again. Became a Hall of Famer WWE. Worked with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. Why did they brought up Chris Jericho and Edge? Chris Jericho in podcast said, "I will never work for another person named other than Vince McMahon or work for a wrestling ring after other than WWE." And now he's the cloud chaser for AEW. Even Edge said I'm a WWE lifer in an interview, and now he's in AEW. those are hypocrites as well. And people like them. Weird, right? So stop being divisive. If you hate something, don't watch the person. Don't watch the promotion. Life is easy for me because I don't watch AEW anymore. As much I try to watch them, I don't. Way back 2019, 2020, during the pandemic, I watched them regularly, but now I don't. It's easy for me. It's easy to hate them. But instead of me spewing hate, I'll just not watch, stop watching. And I stop watching AEW. Maybe I'll watch All In because I watch the pay-per-view still, but not the weekly programming. Makes my life easy. Makes my life at peace. If you like hate, you're an idiot if you like hate. Or if you like to hate. An idiot. A dumb F. Yeah. Dumb F'er. Sorry. But that's me. Like I said, this is Bad Take with Coach 23. See you guys next time.